Spaghettis, I'm so excited about this project. It's very quick and slow at the same time, and I'll explain to you what I mean. So this is the technique where you take coffee dyed paper and you attach or lay a stencil down on it, and the stencil will leave the image on the substrate that you're laying it on. In this case, I'm using tags. And then the second example that I'm going to do is going to be on cardstock. And you can also do this on paper. You might want to use a heavier weight paper, like a 28 pound. But just experiment. And I'm so excited because I've been really good. I've been wanting to take these off, but I know how exciting it is for me when I see people reveal their stencil design. And so I'm pretty sure it came out good. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to show you how I'm doing it, and I'm copying a YouTuber who seems to have the best luck or technique for this particular stencil design thing. So and I have been trying to do this for a couple of years off and on. Nothing ever came out, and it's really because I wasn't following the exact instructions and I was being impatient. So this is quick, but you need patience because it needs to sit for a full 12 to 24 hours in a warm place, and that's not in the oven. So before I show you what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be taking this off. Look at how amazing the prints came out. Oh my gosh, I'll show you close-ups here. This is amazing. So this is just some random needlepoint canvas. It's plastic. This is a plastic stencil that you can get from Hobby Lobby. At the time of this tutorial, this is fairly new, but whatever stencils you want to use. And actually whatever kind of plastic, or like those plastic doilies or the plastic table runners that have like a pretty intricate design on them. These are super cool. It's the first time I've ever used these. They are plastic stencils from Red Lead. Look at how amazing they came out, and clear. I'm telling you, if you do it exactly as I show you, you will not be disappointed. And here's the amazing mushrooms. They just came out so freaking amazing and clear. So this is just a piece of paper that I used just to kind of see what would happen. And the needle, whatever it is, needlepoint canvas. And then I just put that one large stencil on there, and I have all these amazing tags from it that we can use for our spooky art. So the first thing you want to do is you want to mix a concoction of the cheapest dried instant coffee you can find. That could be at Walmart, that could be at the dollar store, which it's not $1, just spoiler alert. Use a cookie sheet to lay a piece of parchment paper in. Look at how cool the cookie sheet looks. Oh, it's so cool. I made it flat, so I kind of had to fold this over to make sure that there was no lift in it, because I think the secret is making sure everything is flat and pressed onto the substrate that you're going to be using. So this is the cookie sheet. You're also going to need a container to put your coffee in. So this coffee is fairly dark. You might experiment. You might like it lighter. You can also use tea. It's just not going to be as vibrant. This is like the cheap version at the dollar store, but it wasn't $1. I want to say it was like $4, but still you get quite a bit. And this was the very end of it, so I just poured some hot water in there. There's so many different recipes to make this mixture. I always go with the darkest, so probably a half a cup of, a quarter cup to a half a cup of the dried instant coffee to, you know, maybe 2 cups, I guess, maybe a cup or 2 cups of water, hot water, and just, you know, just let it dissolve in the container. Once you've used what you have, if you have any left over, just put it in the refrigerator because it goes bad. And then use this is just a mini version of, I don't know why there's ants right now, of a casserole dish. But if you have a bigger one and you're going to be doing bigger pages, then go for it. I'm just going to try to keep it small, even though I'm actually using a piece of cardstock. Maybe I'll use a smaller piece. Anyway, so the coffee is going to go in here, and you're just going to dip whatever you're wanting to impress the stencil on into this mixture and putting it completely soggy onto your cookie sheet. You're gonna want to have your stencils ready. These are from Red Lad, of course, and they're the spooky ones. So I'm going to attempt to try to just do this whole thing in here. And also, if you don't want to, I think I'm going to fold this. If you don't want your fingers to get dirty because it stains, just wear some gloves. I should probably wear gloves because I'm doing a class this weekend, but you know, it takes a while for that stuff to come off, even with all the scrubbing. And have a rag nearby because it can get messy. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And I'm going to take my and so this is really just going directly from, oops, I have to dye this a little bit more, from the casserole dish to the cookie sheet. I'm just completely saturating this whole piece of paper, laying it flat, and then I'm laying my stencils down on here. And this is where those little stencils kind of come in handy because you might have little bits left over. So let's just do this again here. It's not like they're going to go to waste, right? And then push this down so it's flush to your paper or cardstock. And now you're going to take, and with your fingers, you're just going to flick some of this mixture on here. I know this seems kind of like, well, that doesn't look like it's going to work, but it does, because believe me, I was kind of like, just, you know, do whatever I want to do and put it on there. And then like an hour later, I tried taking it off and it never worked. So, yeah, this really works, you guys. So we're going to let this sit. Just going to make sure this is all squished down, flush to our paper or cardstock. And then I'll show you what it looks like after I let it sit overnight in my warm house because it's cold in my studio. All right, here's the big reveal. I'm pretty sure it's going to look amazing because I took a little tiny peek. But look it. It's perfect. Oh my gosh. It's just amazing. So look at how clear that is. So if you follow exactly what I did and try not to be impatient, this is what's going to happen. I think the fact that it's just left to dry with the stencil on it, there's something about the oxygen in the air that might oxidize or do something to the paper that's exposed, or I don't know. But you guys, it's really amazing. And honestly, I had put this in my house in the morning because the heater was on, so I thought it would dry quicker. Obviously, it did. And but if you live in a hot climate, it will dry outside, obviously, as well. And I actually could have shown the reveal sooner because I waited a whole 24 hours. But I kept checking it to see if it was still wet, and it was. And then, I don't know, maybe about 6, 7, 8 hours later, it was dry. And so, you know, as long as it's dry, everything's dry, you can take it off. But look at, it's just amazing. So it's, again, just to recap, it is placing your substrate, whether it's paper, cardstock, tags, whatever, into the casserole dish with a mixture of coffee and water, and then transferring it directly to your pre-lined plate with the parchment paper, or if you have a silicone mat, that will work as well. And let me just go off and tell you that if you do put it on just something flat like the metal plate here, it might stick to it. So that's why you want something to make sure that it releases. And so then you place your stencils on there, push them down, take a little mixture with your hands and sprinkle it onto the stencils, press it down, and leave it alone. You can set up a bunch of these if you have lots of baking sheets, and leave them alone. Go do your business. Go wash your hair, you know, clean the house, whatever. Do some more crafts. Leave it alone and wait for it to completely dry. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to have these amazing prints. I hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next video.